Good afternoon. Howdy. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm outside. It's nice. I don't know what the temp is, but not cold. I think yesterday it was like 24°C. I think it's about to be the same probably today. Yeah, it's nice outside. It's a little noisy sometimes. I know I can hear an airplane going over right now. Howdy, Terry. I'm writing a flight pattern of Love Field, which is the airport in Dallas. And I know it's noisy. You can hear the birds. That's maybe nice. Some traffic, but it's nice outside, so thought I'd just be outside this morning. Hey, Genghis. And the sun is coming up. There's a little bit of a breeze, but not bad. Yeah, I was tired today, so I kind of have a mixed bag of things to talk about instead of just one thing. Or we can talk about anything. What are y'all cooking? I saw that, Choppy. We should beat Tottenham, right? I was looking last night. I was looking. Shouldn't we beat them? I feel like we should. We should beat everybody. But yeah, I was looking at Newcastle last night, United. I was looking at the T20s, trying to catch up. Yeah, with a bit of luck, Choppy says. Yeah, I was checking out the T20 cricket started this weekend. England has a match today, and so does the USA. How's everybody's football team doing so far? Terry, Manchester U's doing good, huh? Yeah, Lancashire hot pot last night, Chompy. Did you make it yourself? Man, I made it and I used, you know, what I saw was a traditional recipe. It came from a UK website when I made Lancashire hot pot, and man, it took forever. Yeah, see, Choppy, we're having an up and down year. We're losing to some teams that we should beat. Manchester got West Ham today. And Manchester United, they're doing good, right, Terry? I think they're having a good season. But yeah, I was looking at sports last night. I worked so long yesterday. I worked super long. I worked last night too long. Sometimes I just get in the groove when I'm painting. And yeah, that's right. USA plays Pakistan today. Shiv Raj, I couldn't see yet. Yeah, I know. I was looking at the matchups. The USA has Pakistan today. I don't expect good results for the USA in that match. England has the West Indies today. And I think you have a pass with the West Indies. My man made Lancashire hot pot. It takes 3 hours to cook. That's what I was saying. It took so long to cook. So long to cook. Mine turned out good. It did. Some people were saying I didn't brown the lamb enough when I first made it, but the truth is the lighting's not great. You can't see how brown I get food. We beat the USA beat Pakistan in Cricket World Cup last cup, yeah, but I don't think we are going to today. So you can't really see how much I brown food. The lighting's not great in that video, but those little bits of lamb, if you over, if you over, if you cook them fully, if you fully cook those little chopped up pieces of lamb, and I cut mine up pretty small, then they're already totally cooked when they go in the oven. And if they're already totally cooked when they go in the oven, they're not going to get as tender as if they slowly cook in the oven. So that's what I did. I didn't over brown them. I made sure they were still soft pieces. I know that they were still pink in the middle when they went in the oven. Did that on purpose. And then when I ate that Lancashire hot pot, that lamb, it was so tender. But some people are like, that wasn't right. It was delicious is what it was. I knew the signs. What else are y'all cooking? Last night I made, what I made? Oh, I just made, I bought jalapeno cheddar sausage from the Mexican market, and I fried red potatoes and onions in a skillet, along with sliced up sausage and some dinner rolls. It was good. I think USA used former Indian cricketers. Yeah, I'm sure we do, Choppy. I'm sure we do. I bet Team USA cricket has all kinds of foreign players. Cheers, Tyler from Michigan. Good to see you. Tyler Denzer 183. You know, I've been to 32 states, Tyler. And Michigan is not one of them. Michigan is one of the 18 states I've never been to. Well, I take that back. I did fly in and fly out of Detroit once. I don't count that. I just had a layover in Detroit once. But I understand Michigan's so beautiful with all the lakes. Yeah, it's a very beautiful state. Yeah, I flew over it. And I stopped briefly at the airport in Detroit. I was going to Toronto. I had a layover in Detroit on a flight to Toronto. And then it's not far from Detroit to Toronto. Anyway, yeah, what else y'all cooking? Hey, Choppy, you like cemeteries, Choppy? You said yesterday, did y'all like that live stream yesterday? I think those are called tatophiles, something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but there's a name for people that like cemeteries. Yeah. In particular, I like cemeteries. As a kid, I used to walk through the cemetery. Hey, no problem, Ben. Good to see you. I used to walk through the cemetery a lot in a couple of towns where I lived as a kid. I like them too. I'm not scared by them. I don't really like them for the macabreness. I like them. I like the history of them, especially like that one yesterday, an old cemetery. I know 1840 doesn't sound old to you, but here it was just there. No one lived here. No one lived here in 1840. People were just starting to move to the area. So it's the beginning of settlements in this area. Anyway, I think they're called tatophiles or something like that, people that like cemeteries. And you know what? If anybody wants to start a YouTube channel, I think that might be a good idea. a YouTube channel where you just tour and show cemeteries. There could be somebody famous there, like yesterday, Clyde Barrow, or they could just be historic grave markers. You wouldn't even have to be in, I don't even think you would have to go to or be in the videos. I think you could probably gather photos, maybe even video, and put it into your own video with a voiceover narration. So you're not even in the videos, just your voice, where you look up the history of certain graves and people that are there and how old. At night, you probably wouldn't want to do it at night. Yeah, I know who Autoplane Bismarck is. Anyway, I don't know. It's a YouTube channel idea. Cemetery tours. Kevin, does this channel do cemetery tours? KG Grace? Anyway, I was just saying, I think it's a good idea for a channel. I think they're called Tataphiles. A lot of people out there do like cemetery. Alright, out now on the channel is St. B's, where Choppy goes for a quiz every week. St. B's, I'm looking at, a lot of people aren't watching that video though. It's not getting a lot of views. Again, I don't care. I'm just trying to look at places that I might want to visit. St. B's, I'm thinking about maybe staying there a little bit, maybe a couple nights. Thinking about it. Doesn't look too busy. Looks nice. And I'm looking for a place to unwind for a couple of nights. Yeah, I like St. B's. I like St. B's. Anyway, I'm looking at it. Also, Cricket Highlights is out. Stonehill's Farmers Nights Bed and Breakfast, Chucky says. Yeah, I might stay in a bed and breakfast. I might want to try to find I don't know if there would be one in St. B's. I'd love to find an Airbnb or a vacation rental house. You seen the videos, Gingas? The Cricket Highlights video, I wanted to watch some Cricket Highlights. And there's tons of videos online. And of Cricket Highlights. I wanted to see some really good video highlights. Diving catches, plays at the wicket. I don't know what you call them, but when it comes down to this guy's trying to get back and the ball's coming. I wanted to see a lot of that. I picked a video. It's okay. It didn't have exactly what I wanted to see. Hey, Adrian, howdy. And of course, it's getting watches and some comments like this is a bad video. I never know what I'm going to get. There's a million Cricket highlight videos. I picked one that was recent and had an interesting thumbnail. And it was a good video. I liked it. I had a good time watching it. But yeah, I'd like to see some of the just best like catches or... I love defense. I'd like to see some good defensive plays. Anyway. Like I say, today I'm just talking about a hodgepodge of stuff. No particular topic. So also I'll throw out there, we can make this what do they call it, a AMA session, ask me anything. You can ask me anything if you want. Ask me anything. Why I talk about this hodgepodge of stuff. Man, okay, I do want to know about Skipton. Skipton keeps coming up. Different places. Michael Atherton batted in total for 14 hours to force a draw. I don't know why that's funny, but 14 hours just to force a draw. Ugh, that's crazy. Uh, but Skipton has been mentioned in a live stream. Somebody says something's near Skipton. Or I've seen it a couple times in comments. Somebody offhandedly mentioned Skipton. It's in North Yorkshire. And then it got suggested a video on my algorithm. And I haven't looked at it yet. Yeah, it's in North Yorkshire Moors, right. It's like the entrance to the North Yorkshire Moors. I saw that somewhere. I'm gonna look at Skipton. What's there? What is there? I know it's the way in, kind of the gateway, or one of the gateways to the North Yorkshire Moors, which I'm thinking about checking out. Probably going to watch a video on Skipton as I continue to look at these small places in the UK that aren't really getting a lot of watches on my channel. However, my channel's growing now, and I've had a lot of videos. I think that Sneaky Brits video is now up to 13,000 views, and several other videos that are getting thousands of views lately, and a lot of new subscribers. So that's good. I know, it could stop again. I could slow back down. I never know what's going to happen with the channel, but even though I'm looking at small places right now, and those videos aren't getting a lot of views, the second video I put out every day tends to get a lot of views lately. And that's usually something UK related or sports related. So I don't know. Your ex-boss is from Skipton Shop? Yeah, I don't know what's there, but I'm curious. I think they have a castle. Isn't it called Skipton Castle? I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna look up Skipton. If y'all know anything about it, let me know. Or if you want to ask me anything, ask me anything. Ian Botham was Australia's nemesis in cricket. I like cricket. The defensive part of baseball is my favorite part. And, the cricket plays, the defensive catches and throws. I like that. I like cricket. It's like a yo-yo. Genghis says, Ian Botham was Australia. See, sometimes I'm just stupid. What's like a yo-yo, Genghis? I don't know. Dang, we're talking about cricket. We're talking about something. Something's like a yo-yo. Oh, you know what, Genghis? You know what's like a yo-yo? A yo-yo. Y'all call them yo-yos? I used to like yo-yos when I was a kid. I'm sorry, Genghis. I haven't woke up enough to understand. Something's going back and forth or up and down. Maybe it's Newcastle season. This doesn't have anything to do with the UK, but just a couple of highlights from my life. Choppy says, I don't get it. I'm not sure what you don't get either, Choppy. Oh, the channel watches. See, Genghis, I'm just talking about it. And he says it's like a yo-yo, and it doesn't click. You know what happens when I'm in a live stream and I'll say things, when I review the live stream, I'll say things that just, what happens is my brain right now is doing two things. My brain is thinking about what I'm saying, but my brain is also thinking about what's next. Okay, so two things are going on once in my brain during a live stream. Uh, no, I think Chop to the he's talking about the channel, and I didn't even get it, even though I was talking about the channel. Like yesterday in the cemetery, I know that I said at one point I was trying to tell you that there were cement slums over in that area, and that Bonnie and Clyde grew up in the cement slums. But instead, I said cemetery slums. Oh, and I think it said they used to make a lot of cemetery over here. They grew up in the cemetery slums. I was trying to say cement, but I said cemetery. But I didn't even notice it when I said it. Ian Botham grew up in Yeovil. You went to school with his nephew. Cool, man. And but see, even just then, I stop, I read a comment. Now I try to go back to what I was saying, and my brain's also thinking about two or three other things. And that's why I'll make comments like, instead of cement, I said cemetery. At one point, I referred to the Trinity River in Dallas as the Mississippi. It's because my brain is doing two things at once. And sometimes what comes out of my mouth is not exactly right because I'm thinking about, like in the graveyard yesterday, I'm thinking about what I'm doing, how I'm laying it out. There's a plan in my head. Right, Choppy. So I said Whitehaven was in Columbia. It's because my brain's doing two things at once. It's like I'm presenting to you, but I'm also planning the next step in the back of my head. It's crazy. But anyway, so that's why sometimes, like Genghis, what Genghis said, it made total sense. It's like a yo-yo. I was talking about it, but it didn't click because my brain's busy thinking about the next thing over on my pages that I'm going to talk about, and how can I keep this flowing. Crazy. So I'm sorry when I make mistakes like that. That's crazy. But it was cement slums they grew up in. And they made cement over there. And the workers all lived in nearby slums. That's where Bonnie and Clyde came from. And yeah, Whitehaven is in Cumbria, not Columbia. So the Mississippi River did not flood Dallas. It was the Trinity River. It's like my brain goes on autopilot for a minute while I'm speaking. My brain have already said the sentence and it's moved on. Yeah, my brain is multitasking. Anyway, I started this job. This is just a couple of things that happened to me this week I'm going to tell y'all about, okay? I started this job. It's a new client. I'd never met them. I started it, what, like 3 or 4 days ago? Saturday. I started this new job on Saturday. I had never, it's not your fault, Genghis. I had never met them. I had talked to her, the husband and wife. They're older, probably 70s. He could be 80. I don't know. Anyway, I had never met him in person. I talked to him. I talked to her, but I hadn't met in person. And I showed up on Saturday to do this new job, and he answered the door. I don't know how to put this delicately, but I'm sure you've all seen burn victims. He was a burn victim. his whole face, and every part of his skin I could see had been badly burned. And I'm sure you've seen people like that before. I mean, he didn't have ears, his nose was mostly gone. Completely burned every piece of skin I could see on him. And he answers the door, he pulls the door open, you know. That's always shocking a little bit when you don't know it's coming. Super nice guy. Now I've been working there since Saturday every day. And I really like this guy. He's just cool. Oh, no problem, Terry. See you tomorrow. Have a good time. Stay safe. And so it was just like, I was taken aback a little at first. But we chat a little bit every day since I came here. Oh, hey, MB Baldrick. Glad you enjoyed the channel. Good to have you. That was a good video of the narrowboats. Probably react to some more narrowboats. I'd like to see a little bit more of the inside of them. Coming soon to my channel. Let's see. About the St. P's vlog. Edmund Grindle, founder of St. P's School. That's where the writers for Blackadder got Edmund Blackadder's name from. Okay, it also said a lot of famous people went to that school. St. P's School. Edmund Grindle was the founder, yeah. Yeah, it mentioned all the people that went there. Rowan Atkinson went there, I think it said. Among some other, like, politicians, I think, and other people went to St. P's School. Anyway, I kind of got to know this fella, this older gentleman that was a burn victim. And yesterday we were talking, and I was like, "Are you from Dallas? You always been from Dallas?" He said, "Yeah, he grew up in Dallas, but he went away to this place and that place. He joined the Army," he said, and then he goes, "I joined the Army. I was stationed down in San Antonio for a while, and I go, thank you for your service," which is something we do in the U.S. I could tell by his age that he probably served in Vietnam. If he was in the Army at that time, we like to thank our veterans or anyone that served. So he said, you know, he joined the Army. I said, thank you for your service. He said, yeah, I was in San Antonio for a while, and then I went to Vietnam, and that's where this happened. And he pointed at himself. I go, oh, so that's where he got burned. And I go, oh, okay. And I didn't ask what happened, but he proceeded to tell me. He said, oh, you got a boat, Baldrick? It's probably fun to restore them. Ex-England rugby union coach Stuart Lancaster went to St. Pete. No, it's okay, Baldrick. Interrupt all you want. I don't mind. He called the boat Nairobi because it's short, dirty, and ugly, but eternally faithful. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind interruptions. The story was he was a pilot. He flew a Scout, which is a small helicopter, and they would try to find the enemy. They would fly treetop level, he said, trying to find the enemies and engage the enemies and try to draw them out, engage them with gunfire. And these are little helicopters, if you know what I'm talking about. And then, draw out as many as they can and then send the troops that way. Baldrick. Okay, that makes more sense. Baldrick. I didn't know why Nairobi. Anyway, so he was flying low over the treetops, engaging the enemy. He was shot down in his helicopter, caught fire. It's a crazy story. I just thought I'd share it. I don't know, that's it, end of story, but I was like, wow. I was glad that when he said he joined the Army as a young man, I immediately said, thank you for your service. And then found out that he shot down, burst into flames. Whew. That's a hero. So that's my client I'm working for right now. Here's another thing I was thinking about. Do y'all watch, do any of you watch Saturday Night Live? Because they cast Saturday Night Live UK. And that show, Saturday Night Live, is going to start your version. UK Saturday Night Live. Are any of you fans of Saturday Night Live in the US? Because I grew up watching it. I've always loved Saturday Night Live. But now there's going to be a UK version they've cast. All the members of Saturday Night Live UK. Have you heard about this? Do you know? Is anybody a fan? Sketch comedy. You've seen Saturday Night Live, Walter? Yeah, many famous comedians started on the US Saturday Night Live. Yeah, Adrian, they just cast the UK version. Y'all want to know? I'm going to read who's, because I looked at the list of who they cast in the UK Saturday Night Live. I didn't know any of them, but that doesn't mean they're not good. You call my boat granddad, from OnlyFans. The dog barking. So there are 11 stars cast in Saturday Night Live UK. It starts next month. Yeah, a lot of famous US comedians came from, tons. But they've reimagined a British spin-off, it says. A new generation of comedians will take to the stage during the first season. Y'all want to know who they are? And Will Ferrell, for example, from Saturday Night Live in the US. So your cast will be Hamad Anamishan. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he's a cast member. He starred in 2018's The Festival with In-Betweeners star Joe Thomas. He's a 34-year-old East London who's also featured in the BBC comedy series Black Ops, as well as A Midsummer Night's Dream in the Bridge Theater. Do y'all know him? How about, I can't pronounce these names. Ayode Bamgoye. Anyway, she is a Nigerian and British comedian who's dreaming of following in her former Saturday Night cast member Kristen Wiig's footsteps. She's known for Edinburgh Fringe Show, Swings, and Roundabouts. UK's Got Talent, maybe a comparison. UK's Got Talent? Well, that's not a sketch comedy show. That's a talent show. Let's see. So anyway, you ever heard of her? About Larry Dean. Larry Dean is a U.S. Scottish comedian. He previously performed at the Royal Variety Performance in 2024. I don't know, he's a comedian. He got cast on UK Saturday Night Live. Celeste Dring, boasting BBC's This Country and Lazy Susan among her credits. She's one of the Saturday Night Live UK members. George Fouracres, Wolverhampton local George Fouracres. This is cast. It doesn't say. His previous credits include performing in Hamlet, at Shakespeare's Globe, as well as in Steve on Netflix. Now, I haven't heard of any of these people, but the thing with Saturday Night Live US is like when they put new people on the cast, you don't know them. At one point, I was like, who's Will Ferrell? And then you're like, oh my gosh, Will Ferrell. They are unknowns normally when they get cast, and then they blow you away. So just because these people maybe didn't heard of them, that's normal, really. And Nia Magliano has appeared on Taskmaster and Live at the Apollo. Annabelle Marlowe, who is from Henley-on-Thames, the comedian, has been a huge fan of the show. She was in Six, the musical. Wow. A Muriel's Wedding. She's also written and performed a one-man show at Edinburgh Fringe called Is This Okay? Al Nash, known to most people in the UK for his hilarious Instagram skits. Al Nash will be hoping to make a similarly big splash, so he's an internet content creator. He's based in Buckinghamshire. You went to see Greg Davies recently in Sheffield? Yeah, these people were getting their starts kind of probably. No problem, Bobby. Genius. Jack Shep. He's more of a comic than a stand-up comedian, he says. He's from Bedfordshire. He's known for his performance in Channel 4's Big Boys. Emma City? S-I-D-I? City or... I don't know. Some of these people will probably end up being real funny. And some of them, who knows? Just the show might make it, the show might fold. You never can tell. It'd be cool if it made it. Anyway, Emma City is just a newcomer, man. She doesn't list any credits. Maybe she'll do good. She's an improv actor. Her recent show, Emma City is Sue Gray. That was a touring show. Patty Young. Patty Young is the last one on the list. He's hoping to make a splash on the UK's version of Saturday Night Live. He's previously starred in Channel 4's Everyone Else Burns and Mitchell and Webb Are Not Helping. Anyway, there you go. This is your cast. Do they look funny? I hope it does good. I love sketch comedy. Y'all know that I like to write. And one of my dream jobs, I would love to be a writer on Saturday Night Live. I grew up watching the show. A lot of people will be like, oh, they suck now. I never say that. It's ever changing. They get good people in, they get bad people in, but there's always like a hidden gem. I love Saturday Night Live. That would be a dream job, to write sketch comedy. I don't want to be on it. Don't put me in front of the camera. But writing for it, God, that would be amazing. I always have stupid ideas. Anyway, y'all, good luck with Saturday Night Live in the UK. I hope it's funny. I hope it's hilarious. And I hope... You read the Bonnie and Clyde poem? Yeah, it's pretty good. She wrote a lot of poetry. You can find all of her poetry. But yeah, that one's called The Ballad of Bonnie and Clyde, Chucky. It's pretty interesting. I read most of it. I skipped some of the early parts. But it's an interesting poem. Yeah, I hope Saturday Night Live in the UK is really funny. I hope some of those people become major stars. It would be cool if it, you know, became iconic like the US and put out just tons of new stars. It would be really cool. Hey, y'all want to know another story that happened to me the day before yesterday? I had to stop downtown Dallas yesterday morning. No, day before yesterday. And while I was there, now I always see animals. I don't know how to explain this. Like growing up hunting, I developed the ability to see peripherally and spot movement. And I'll see an animal all the time. One time I was driving on a highway at, speed limits, 65 miles an hour. I saw a horny toad on the side of the road out in West Texas. They're small. I just saw the movement peripherally, and I was like, oh, there's a horny toad, because they move like funny. And I'm just telling the story, David, that happened. So I always animals catch my eye, even if I'm not looking for them. When I see peripheral movement, I see movement peripherally, it draws my eye. And that's from just growing up hunting. That's how you watch for things. If you move your head and eyes around, you miss what's in your field of vision. But if you keep your head straight and actually look peripherally, any movement will catch your eyes. I know that seems counterintuitive, but it's true. So I was just, I guess, 2 days ago, kind of staring ahead, and I see peripherally some movement up in this tree. It catches my eye. I look up, and this is downtown Dallas. I'm downtown Dallas, surrounded by skyscrapers. But there is like 2 or 3 trees right near me. I look up, and I see it's a brown-tailed hawk that caught my eye. And they are cool looking. They're very common. I think you might have them too. Just your basic brown-tailed hawk, nothing fancy about it, but they are pretty. They have striations. Yeah, dipper. I know. Thank you, Baldrick. There's 100 comments on that video that all say it was a dipper. I think even she said it was a dipper, but I missed it. But thank you. It's a dipper. It's a cool looking bird. I love birds. Anyway, so this hawk, I look up and I see it's got something in its clutches. It had a dead animal in its clutches. And then suddenly it flew down to the ground, only probably about 20 feet in front of me. It flew right down to the ground. It had a pigeon. It had caught a pigeon. And you see creatures, deer and rabbits all the time, Adrian. The weird thing is, I'm downtown Dallas. This hawk it took a pigeon. There's a lot of pigeons downtown Dallas. It had caught this pigeon and had it in its clutches, and it flew down to the ground right in front of me. I got some really good pictures. I didn't put them up on the community because I thought some people don't want to see that. It's a hawk with a dead pigeon in its clutches. And I got probably 20 awesome pictures. It landed like 20 feet in front of me, but I inched up. I bet I got 10 feet away from that hawk on the ground with a pigeon in its claws. And it was looking around, and it wasn't flying off. I think it was like I got this pigeon. It was probably, I don't know. It wasn't flying off. I put on my Facebook page. See a lot of buzzards. Yeah, we have buzzards too. Kingfisher in the canal, they're beautiful. But yeah, I love nature and creatures and animals. It doesn't bother me to see, city pigeons are less wary. I'm sure there was probably a bunch of them, and I'm sure I didn't see it catch it. That would have been cool. It probably just swooped straight down on a pigeon. It was hunting downtown. It was crazy. It was crazy. A circle of life. Some people don't like to see that kind of. It's just a story that happened to me a couple days ago. Uh, let's see. What shows the weather like there? It's beautiful here right now. What's it like over there? It's going to be I don't know, it's 23, 24 C today. It's a little cloudy right now, but let's see. I was going to talk about, yeah, y'all didn't tell me, what's in Skipton? Is there anything I should go see in Skipton? There's a lot of wildlife training, yeah. It's wet and cloudy again today. Somebody told me in the comments that it's rained every day this year in the UK. Is that true? Mizzle on Merseyside today. White Company, good to see you. It's rained every day this year on all of you. Maybe they meant in their area, but that's not what they said. Well, they said, I mean, it's rained every day this year in the UK, so that means any part of the UK could get a little rain, right? Any part. It was kind of presented like everywhere in the UK. I don't know. But that doesn't mean it rains all day, right? Didn't you think you heard that somewhere too? Not sure if it's true. The rivers are swollen with water, a lot of flooding. So you are getting a lot of rain. It may not be all over the UK every single day, but maybe what he's trying to say is at least somewhere in the UK it's gotten rain every day this year. What's there to see in Skipton, Audrey? I'm going to watch a video about Skipton. There's a lot of flooding in Somerset then. And it wasn't cider. It wasn't beer. Hereford. It was raining up today 40 days straight, like biblical proportions. Did y'all see me pause and try to think about how to say Hereford? Hereford. It's making up for last summer, which was really dry, Adrian? Okay. Not this time, Ben. That's a bummer. Had about 3 days without rain, wind this year. I could get out and ride your bike. Okay. Are you riding, what kind of bike are you riding? White Company. You gonna work on your boat this weekend? It's on the land on railway sleepers. It would be fun to restore a boat. I could really get into that, Baltic, and I'm handy AF. I'm handy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a craftsman. I'm a tradesman. I'm good at what I do, and I would come in handy. Working on your boat. I'm meticulous. I like stuff like that. Yeah, I was just wondering if, I guess it has rained a lot there this year. Got loads of bike, vintage, Dutch, gravel, got them all. Now you're talking about bicycles, right? You're saying gravel, but you could be talking about motorcycles. Vintage, Dutch, gravel, so that sounds like bicycles. Yeah, bicycles. Okay, I was just making sure because sometimes it gets confusing. People will say bike and they mean a motorcycle, at least in the US. But when you said vintage, Dutch, and gravel, I was like, that's bicycles. So do you ride roads or do you ride trails? Sounds like you're a trail rider. Remco just won his first stage race for Red Bull, if you follow pro cycling. Anyway. So y'all got a lot of rain, and your rivers are overflowing. Guess that statement was true. I think that statement was on one of the Scotland videos. So I was just wondering, okay, he's saying it's rained every day in the UK this year. He's in Scotland. You collect motorcycles too. You're at everywhere, mostly along the promenade. I'm gonna visit your area where you're from, White Company. I'm almost certainly coming to your area. Maybe I'll see you on the trails. I'm probably gonna do more hiking in that area than just cycling. But I'm interested in Skipton, like I said. I'm gonna look at that soon. More videos coming soon to my channel about wells. As I continue to look at wells, and then I continue to look at small places. I can see that from Bristol, it's closer to Dorset than Cornwall, right? I can see that. I'm gonna look at some more places in Dorset as well coming up soon to my channel. Although I do have some reactions to Dorset already. I think there's some more places I want to see. I'm getting ready to wrap things up. I'm going to talk about one more thing. I'm just curious. I wanted to ask y'all, Liverpool's a good day out? Oh yeah, for sure. Choppy, I will give you a heads up. We'll get together. We do a quiz once a week in St. Bede's. So yeah. Where do you do the quiz? Maybe I'll join you. Have y'all been getting on the news? Oh, once a month. Okay, Choppy. Have y'all been getting on the news? Well, plus Choppy, if I'm in St. Bede's, I probably can, I don't know, is it easy to get to Whitehaven, right? Yeah, Adrian, Dorset is on my short drive from Somerset. Only, I think I should say. Better not look at my buddies than if you're a true craftsman. I'm just bodging it together for now, enough to get it through safety test so you can get a license and bring it home. Yeah, I just like doing that kind of work. You know, I'm not a boat expert, but I have owned boats in the past, not narrow boats. But, you know, if something needs fixed, I can fix it. If I'd never done it before, I figure out how, but yeah, I like doing stuff like that. It's only 2 hours from Bristol, right, Adrian? So, I'm gonna look at Dorset. Some more places. If you have some suggestions, Adrian, you can send them now or put them in the comments later. You can email me if you want. I've looked at a few places, so maybe check the Dorset playlist. I think there's a Dorset playlist you can look at. Yeah, from where you live, St. Bede's is 4 miles away. Quiz first Wednesday in the month at Manor House. That's right, Chapel. Wouldn't that be crazy, Choppy, if just one day you walk into Manor House and I'm just sitting there on the first Wednesday of the month. And then I see you and I go, hiya, Choppy. I think I might get to Wiltshire as well, Adrian. I don't know. There's so many things I want to do. Lots of quiet country villages in Dorset, Shaftesbury, and Dorset. Okay, Cork. So I have seen some things. I think I've seen Cork Castle. Lots of wild horses. My video for Exmoor is coming out soon. And they show the wild horses. I've seen the wild horses in other videos too. So yeah, Maybe if you got suggestions for Dorset, maybe take a quick glance at my Dorset playlist. See what I've already seen. Because of course I'm looking for stuff I haven't seen yet. Gold Hill and Shaftesbury, really steep street, huh? I can stay in the boat. The New Forest. Someone was talking about that in the comments too. I've heard of that before. I've seen it briefly in the video where Liam Brown rates or ranks the national parks. I believe he did put New Forest low. Well, the timing isn't settled yet on my trip, Audrey, nor is exactly where I'm going to be going to visit. That's what my channel's about, Audrey. I'm researching places that I want to visit. My research is not done. Lyme Regis, I do want to look at, Adrian. Swanage and Weymouth. Weymouth. Okay, thank you. Lyme Regis, I am going to look at. For sure. I was going to ask y'all a quick question. So big in the news right now is Savannah Guthrie's mother has been kidnapped. I don't know if you know who Savannah Guthrie is. She's a news anchor on a popular morning show called The Today Show. That's big on our news right now. Her mother has gone missing. There's been some ransom requests. Heard of this? I'm just curious, like that's big on our news every day. And I'm curious, does that make it across the pond? She's a news anchor woman. She's very famous in the U.S., Savannah Guthrie. She's on the Today Show. She covers the Olympics a lot of times. She would be at the Olympics right now, but she's on leave because her mother has gone missing. There's been ransom demands. It is on the UK news, Adrian. Okay, I was just curious. Yeah, the Peak District, I've seen, I've reacted to. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Patrick. Yeah, I have a whole playlist on the Peak District or national parks you can check out. I've looked at the Peak District several times. It is on the UK news. Huh? I don't know. I was just curious if something like that was big news. Livingston says as well, huh? I didn't know if that type of story made it across the pond. I mean, I hope everything works out. It's a sad story. It probably doesn't look good. I was just curious because you can't get away from it here. It's on every news. It's on all the time. That's all you hear. But that's it for me today. You guys saw Clyde Barrow's grave yesterday. I hope that was interesting. That was fun doing. I was in that old graveyard. And there was Clyde Barrow, a Bonnie and Clyde fame. Yeah, very upsetting for her family, Adrian. Yeah, a few more days of work where I'm working with this Vietnam veteran at his house. Then I'll probably take a couple days off. I know I keep saying I'm going to go to British Emporium. Here's the thing about British Emporium. I want to take y'all there on a field trip. Come to the Peak. You'll walk me to Robin Hood's cave. Bay, do you mean Robin Hood's or cave? Maybe both. I'm sorry. Lost my train of thought. Oh, the British Emporium. John McAllister is your member of Parliament for Whitehaven, Worthington. Not far from Little John's grave in Hathor Sage. The British Emporium. So here's the thing. There's two of them. There's one that's not very far away from me, about 30 minutes, could be 45 minutes, depending on traffic. That's the closest British Emporium. It's the smaller one. biggest one is in a city called Grapevine, Texas, and it's about an hour with traffic. It could be an hour and a half away, and I kind of want to go there. Kind of want to go to the bigger one. Don't you think that would be better? It's bigger. But that, that's 3, 4, that's my whole day. By the time I leave, go there, shoot a live stream, come back. That's my whole day. That's why I haven't got to it yet. I could zip up to the closer one, Robin Hood's Cave. I could zip up to the closer one pretty easy. I could even train there. But yeah, that's why I've been putting it off. But maybe when I get off in a couple of days, because what I really want, it's not even so much to do the live stream for y'all, although I will live stream when I go there. I want to get some stuff to taste for my channel, like mustard, and they have other stuff. Yeah, the bigger place I have more variety. There's an airplane going over. Yeah, I'll live stream when I go to the British Emporium, which just has imported British products. And let y'all help me pick out some stuff. But yeah, I want to stock up on a few things that I can do tasting videos on my channel for. I'm in Dallas, Texas, Baldrick. You've been a couple times. Where you been? Yeah, it's a time factor. Anyway, it's good chatting with y'all. Nice to have you here today, Baldrick. Where are you from? Do you have a name? Baldrick's the name of your boat. Narrowboat Baldrick. You want me to call you that? You want me to call you your name? Whatever it may be. Anyway, good having you here today. And you too, Gingus. Nice choppies. Good to see you. Just wrapping things up. Adrian, thank you for your help as always. White Company. Livingston Cooper. White Company from Wells. Livingston. Cooper's from Scotland. Good to see you. Ben, good to see you. Terry left, but it's always good to see Terry. Yeah, y'all have a great day. That was just my little chat about several different things. Y'all watch Saturday Night Live? UK, give it a chance. If it sucks, at least you tried. But, yeah. That'll be fun going to British Emporium in the future. Oh, I was going to mention the cricket, but USA has Pakistan today. England has the West Indies. So good luck to those players. Mikey, okay. Mikey. The White Company is Mikey. But yeah, good to see you all. Y'all have a great day. Cheers to you all. Wayne from Dallas, Texas. Signing out.